Let's make my intense chocolate cake. So we are going to begin by browning butter, and I've got 70 grams of unsalted butter. You don't have to have that melted, but I just started it off a little bit there. All you have to do, medium to high heat, put this on and give it a good stir. Keep stirring it. See across the top it's going foamy. And this only takes a few minutes on a medium to high. You can also hear it sizzling, and that's what you want. Again, make sure you stir it. Now, you'll see underneath that it's starting to go more golden. That top part needs to stay amber, and then you're looking for sand underneath. As soon as you get that, you just take it off of the heat, and we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. And to this, then, we are going to add 50 grams of cocoa powder, and also half a teaspoon of coffee powder. They've gone into the heat and they're going to bloom, and that brings out that massively intense flavour. That's where this comes from. So we want to cool this down. So now we're going to add all the cold ingredients. So I'm going to add into this 70 grams of water and 2 tablespoons of buttermilk, 50 grams of sour cream, 20 grams of vegetable oil and 30 grams of golden syrup, and give all of that a really good stir up. Don't forget, in with that as well, I also added a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So they're not going to come together really well because of the sour cream, but we're now going to add the sugars in, and that'll help. So with the sugars, it was 100 grams of light brown sugar and 150 grams of caster sugar. Next, in with the flour, and we are going to use 200 grams of plain flour. Along with that, half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, a teaspoon of milk powder, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So give that a mix, and then pop in your 2 large eggs. We're doing well, and look how it's coming together. Now, try not to beat it too much and just getting the eggs in. What we want to do then is just fold that in, and that's really important here. Give that a fold. Now, if you want that chocolate to come out even more, you can add 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt in with that flour. Right, I am doing 2 8-inch tins here. So this recipe does 3 6-inch or 2 8-inch. So I've got these silicone tins, and I absolutely adore these. I love them. I will leave a link underneath to the Amazon store, and you'll find that on our Amazon store. These are going to go into the oven at 160 degrees fan for, depending on what you're doing, 23 to 25 for the 6-inch and 30 to 33 for the 8-inch. Right, let's get on to that buttercream that we're going to pop in with this. So we're going to start off there with 250 grams of salted butter with this one. It must be salted because of the way that we're doing it. Now, you want to make sure that this butter stays looking like this. So it's still very, very darker in colour. It's not really translucent. Don't take that butter above 38 degrees because it changes the structure. Then we're going to be adding into this 500 grams of icing sugar. I am doing this in 3 parts just to make sure it incorporates. And you'll notice for this whole tutorial, there is not one mixer been used in this. It's so simple, all of it, all just by hand. So keep going with this here and making sure that all of that icing sugar incorporates. You shouldn't need to sieve the icing sugar, but if it makes you feel happier, you can just sieve it all in. So that's all of that in. Next, we're going to be adding a tablespoon of cocoa powder, and I'm then going to also melt down 100 grams of milk Calabo chocolate. And then you'll see me put those in just a moment. Now, it's important to give this a really good stir because you want to make sure that everything's incorporated, and it will just change the structure of that buttercream. Now, that's pretty much ready to be used. Okay, in then with that cocoa powder, and then the chocolate that I have melted. And also, if you add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, again, it will really make that flavour pop. So give that a stir again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop that on the side or into the fridge for around about half an hour. And then I will decorate my cake and it will be all finished. Now, I have finished mine off with a beautiful butter ganache on the outside. If you have a quick look on the socials, you'll see the butter ganache there that I've used on the outside, and a really, really simple way that gives a beautiful effect on the outside of a cake as well. So have a little look at that. That's the next dairy-free butter ganache that you can see there. So if you've struggled with any of this, then don't forget to go on our website, Baking with Ginny and Joe, and the recipe will be on there along with this tutorial. This is also a recipe from our brand new book, which is also called Baking It Simple with Ginny and Joe. Over 122 recipes in that one, and that is available on the website under our book for £20. There is also a PDF version as well, and that is £9.99. There we go. Look at that cake. It is so soft, absolutely lovely. And have a look at that butter ganache because it is so simple, and that effect across the top is absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you really, really soon. Take care. Bye bye.